So welcome everyone. I think all of us had a good lunch. and so let me start this session. Thanks again for everyone to come here, and we are going to discuss about a session of a topic which is actually not only transformative but also timely and thought-provoking. So as already mentioned by by our fellow colleague, the topic of a session is reimagining BFSI in a digital first era. Uh, Basically turning the challenges that we are seeing in the BFSI sector into the strategic opportunities, right? So, I mean, in a recent past, we all would have seen BFSI segment has gone through a lot of changes. I mean, things which were considered as disruptive once upon a time, now they are just a new normal. So, I mean, with the advent or the advancement of the technologies, be it like AI, blockchain, data analytics, or consumer-driven, user experience-based digital advancements are reshaping the industries, right? And letting the BFSI to go to and reach a scale which was not possible with the traditional way of core services that we have it in past. Along with that, uh, since BFSI is a highly regulated sector, so I mean, as the technology landscape is changing, so do the compliances as well. So with the ever-evolving landscape change of these compliances, how do we cope up with this technology transformation that's going on? And also, I mean, the challenges that come everywhere from scale, especially to a regulated industry, is the security and the fraud risk that we envisage in nowadays, right? So these three are, I would say, like the key set of challenges. But we gathered here not to discuss about the challenges, but to look, I mean, what kind of a strategic opportunities that these challenges can bring to us, and what would be the outlook of this BFSI industry in the next forthcoming 5 to 7 years, right? So with that, I would start with my first question to Mr. Venkat. He's yeah. So let me first introduce Mr. Venkat. Venkat is basically the Chief Technical Officer for Indian Bank, and he has traveled from Chennai directly to come here and meet us in the morning. So Venkat, I mean, what do you see the set of new technologies, be it like AI, blockchain, data analytics, and the cloud native platforms? How are they basically transforming the BFSI industry? I mean, we might have seen like the in the earlier days we had banks which actually cater the customers in an even way, right? But now that with the hyper personalization that AI brings on the table, that basically helps them to serve customers of different needs. With the ledger-based technology, decentralized, this blockchain is bringing, we can do the P2P and P2M transactions without being dependent on the server errors or server issues, right? The credibilities that they bring as a decentralized is not there with the, with our traditional banking system. Also about what value these cloud native platforms add in terms of the resiliency of our core services. So yeah, Venkat, over to you. Like, I mean, what are the steps that Indian Bank is taking on to basically advance the BFSI at under your guidance?
Thanks, Gaurav. Good afternoon, everyone. This is working, and people are awake. This is post-lunch session. The question is very pertinent. From a banking perspective, perhaps we are the last to adopt technologies because compliance is something that we first look at, right? From an Indian bank perspective, we embarked on a digital transformation journey about 3 years back, where we completely wanted to change the way customer experiences the banking. We wanted to enable anywhere, anytime banking. We certainly wanted to have a frictionless capability for the customer. So the intent is we start with the customer and then provide a technology solution to customers' pain points. At the same time, what we also wanted to look at is how is that we can improve the operational efficiency or the productivity of our employees. And lastly, of course, we wanted to significantly bring more and more business on the digital platforms rather than someone walking into the branch and transacting on their particular account. Now, with these goals, what we did is we focused on the cloud native apps, as you rightly pointed out. The intent was, of course, to have whenever a change is introduced, the change is not disruptive. So it was a containerized, Kubernetes-based applications that we always looked for. And we started with the digital lending platform, which essentially looked at improving the turnaround time for our customers in terms of the loan approvals and the loan disbursements. And the app itself is on the cloud-native solution. But it also worked very closely with the fintechs because while the banks bring the trust, the banks bring the compliance expertise, but the fintechs bring the agility. The fintechs allow a faster go-to-market strategy for us. So we partnered with fintechs. We partnered with RBI Innovation Hub on their ULI platform, which is the Unified Lending Interface, so that the data is real-time, the data is automatically fetched through the APIs, and the decisioning is done pretty quickly. Likewise, we introduced a new mobile app, which is an omni-channel app, and it was launched last June. And we are seeing real good reviews for that particular app, and it's again based on the cloud-native app that is on. Likewise, like you rightly mentioned about the personalized offers, we have analytics centers of excellence, which typically works on the predictive analytics and develops various approved or pre-approved offers for our customers so that basis the customer requirements, basis the demographics of the customer, we provide them the offers. So this is from a technology standpoint, but what we have certainly seen is the adoption part of it, especially when we give the capabilities, it has to be adopted by the customers, by our field functionaries, and towards that, a lot of effort has been done from a bank perspective. Typically, banks don't have a department which encourages adoption. So we do have a department which focuses only on the adoption of the digital channels, and it is supported by digital banking champions. About 1,000 of them are there spread across the country. So that's how we are trying to transform. It's a journey. We have started about 2-3 years back. And like you rightly said, AI, generative AI, blockchain are the other features of emerging technologies, which of course are at the POC stage for us. And once we have a good use case, we'll productionize that. Thanks.
Oh, great. So, I mean, so Venkat, just wanted to understand, like, I mean, what are the type of challenges that, I mean, you would have seen within the organization when you started your journey towards the digital transformation?
So, like I pointed earlier in my conversation, where I said adoption is a big challenge because capabilities are there, but adoption might not be there because at certain times it so happens that people are not familiar with how to use the system itself. So that's one challenge. Second challenge is pre-approved offers. Now, typically the banks are all assisted, which means the branch brings his expertise to decision on a loan. Now that is changing to a straight-through processing of loans where customer starts and finishes journey with the underwriting done by the system itself. Now, helping the branch or helping the executives understand that this is a very safe method is also a challenge that we had to overcome. And now everyone is on board with that particular thing.
Understood. So, so thanks, Venkat, for sharing the journey of Indian Bank with us. So let me welcome Mr. Siddhartha Sinha, the Chief Technical Officer of National E-Repository Limited. So hi, Siddhartha.
Hi.
Hi. So I mean, you must have seen the digital payment world, which is actually has surged around like 50% in the last fiscal year itself, as per the NITI Aayog report, right? So I mean, just wanted to understand, like, what step are we taking to build a robust and a scalable and resilient platform to basically reach out to the industries which are to reach out to the customers which are there in the tier 2 and tier 3. So how are we planning to engage those customers?
Gaurav, this is a very valid point that you have raised, and this is one thing need to, industry has to break through, because we are actually focusing on the customers who are actually high net worth and everyone. That is fine.
Correct.
But the real market actually reside in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, where it is always a challenging task for, the banking industries to penetrate in. And the market segment is totally different. You need to first understand that how you can actually approach. This is not a way where you are approaching the urban population. You have to go and reach out to that population, and then you have to understand their mindset, their businesses. So you have to get into some little bit of the localization kind of a thing. Then you have to, put your technology in such a way that it should be easy to use, because their awareness and adoption of technology is not that much, because you need to have, partners with you who can actually assist you to make your product reachable to each and every person of that market segment. So this is a very crucial thing you need to penetrate in. And second thing, very importantly, is that when you talk about the products, then you have to design a product in such a way that it should be beneficial to them. Like when you talk about an insurance product, or when you talk about a loan product, then you have to understand that what is the the value of the loan they are going to take it. Maybe a smaller value, but that is actually at that time you need to understand that the cost of serving these kind of a loan is always very high for the banking industries. So you need to innovate on that particular front, that how you can do automation, how can you do AI, how can you do different technologies, so that rightly said by the STP process can be availed, so that manual less process can be availed over there. And equally at that time you have to also ensure the compliance and security, so that you have to adopt the KYC. So in case you are talking about a rural customer, they may not have a credit score. So how you can actually approach them? So you have to understand that are they paying the bills to their, regularly paying bills to electricity or gas or whatever. Then you can, derive some kind of fundamental out of that, these information, and accordingly you make a mechanism to assess their risk, and accordingly you can disburse the loan. So these are the key things you need to adopt. You need to change the way, you need to adopt the technology, you need to have awareness things, and accordingly with the mix of this you can actually fraud the product and reach to the deep penetration inside these sectors.
Understood. Very well articulated. So I mean, an open question to everyone. See, like that's true with the tier 2 and the tier 3 cities, that hyper localization has to be done. Given that Indian Bank is primarily into the southern and western region of India, and also having the branches to the north side. See, I mean, what we can see over here is it's a set with a multilingual, multicultural set of customers, right? So it's not like any other country where it is predominantly a one or two language or one or two culture being followed, right? So I mean, how are we basically as a industry heads, we are thinking to target these tier 2, tier 3 customers where the needs or the cultures are totally different. So maybe Venkat, you or how are you basically taking care in India Bank?
But I think as far as the culture is concerned, yeah, you're absolutely right. We have distinct or a diverse population in the country. But the needs at tier 2, tier 3 cities across the country are more or less similar. Having said that, our apps typically are multilingual supported. For example, we did a KCC in UP in partnership with Unified Lending Interface, that is RBIH. And we provided the entire journey in Hindi, so that anyone can start, because this is a customer-facing journey. Anyone can start, anyone can assist with them. The second part is something that my colleague touched upon, the trust part of it. And we did a very small intervention from the trust perspective. For example, if I go to the branch today, I get an FD certificate signed by the branch manager. But when I do it online, I was not getting that receipt. He just said that you have booked an FD. we made a slight intervention there. We generated the FD receipt in the format that physically is provided. And suddenly we see an uptake happening across the country on that. Small interventions like this, which build the trust in the customers, help us or help them adopt our technology. So things like that we have done, which are certainly helping Indian Bank in this digital transformation.
Okay. So with that, I think...
I would like to add one more
Yeah.
thing. I am actually associated with the commodity market, and we are having a deep reach to the farmers and other people who are actually dealing with the commodities. So when I was analyzing to integrate with the banks to understand that the loan can be disbursed to them on the basis of a pre-harvest and post-harvest, then that time this fundamental is reached that how quickly you can give the loan.
Correct,
Now, with the discussion with the government, we are planning to give a loan in just 15 minutes to them.
Oh, nice.
And when you talk about a 15 minutes time period, it is nothing.
Correct, yeah.
And during this period, you have to do all the risk assessment and analysis, and accordingly you have to, disburse the loan. So this is a challenge we are working on, and we are using the technologies to understand how we can actually go and use this.
Great to hear, especially in the markets which you are working on, especially to the farmers of our country. So, so I think the BFSI sector work hand in hand with fintech sector, and what I have seen is like, I mean, the RBI report which came in, and it's predicted like the rise of fintechs by 30% in the next, I think the next 3 years. So I mean, so how as BFSI sector, we are basically trying to collaborate and develop some new innovative products, especially to serve the underserved section, which is not into the creamy layer. So I mean, that's a query to Mr. Bala. He's Chief Data Officer from HDFC Life Insurance. So yeah, over to you, Bala.
So one of the things I like to say that even large companies like us and larger banks, we all have to today behave like a fintech.
Correct.
Where technology enabled whatever financial product that we are distributing, it is no more the case other way around that I have capital, I have the banking setup, I have brick and mortar branches, and therefore customer will flock to me. It doesn't happen any ways anymore. Not only it is just the final customer. If like in insurance, we sell most of our product from B2B to C. Lot of banking partners or NBFCs and fintechs companies buy our product. All they care about is, do I have a good API integration to their systems? 5 years back, it was you try to buy from someone else, they will do a page redirect to my page. Now that is gone. They want to do the customer journey seamlessly on their platform and want an API integration with me. Now, this is just a small example. The point I'm trying to make is technology is no more an option. We may not survive if we don't do technology in the most appropriate forum. For example, operations costs are increasing.
Correct.
But at HDFC Life, we have kept our headcount in operations nearly constant for last 3, 4 years, 5 years, while we are serving 2x, 3x more customers.
Great.
All of it is enabled by technology, right? So you have email bots, you have self-service bots, etc. Customer is more than happy to do a self-service. Earlier you have to do an address change, you have to visit the branch, you have to submit your address proof, you have to sign it, you have to do bunch of things. Today you can do it in a very seamless way on multiple digital channels. Now, the same thing applies for our distribution systems. Our agents, our partners, whether it is large banker partners, whether it is a small agent, all of them expect relevant products, brochures in multiple languages, because your agent could be speaking not just English potentially, but any of the many languages. So earlier we would have an agency which would produce the same type of a brochures. Now we use GenAI, we use multiple training videos, multiple product brochures in multiple language, not literally at a click of a button, but in matter of minutes and hours, not days and weeks. So the point is, that is one way that is happening. Cloud technology, almost all large companies are using. Fintechs were probably born in cloud. But you see today, like in HDFC Life, except for few core systems, almost everything is in cloud for us. Now, the idea is simple. If we don't do digital first, mobile first, omni-channel first, we would be obsolete in the eyes of the customer. Customer would reject before anything else. What we also are lot more cognizant is, like you talked about earlier, tier 2, tier 3 cities. Some of our apps are designed in a way that they work on a low data bandwidth requirement. So if I know it is in tier 3, I don't have big images. I have relatively simpler pages so that it get downloaded on the customer's phone
Device.
quicker. Right? So being cognizant and understanding a very simple thing. Technology is not an option. It is not a fancy thing anymore. And providing that makes the whole process lot easier for us, for customer. I personally go to my bank probably once a year on average. 99% of my work gets done online.
Yes.
And it is how all our, even in HDFC Life, all our services get done. And to that extent, I am saying we have to behave and think like a fintech.
Correct.
So-
That's true. So I think, Bala, you actually mentioned quite an important point that it's not the collaboration. We should also start realizing self as a fintech. So we all know like how SDFC has adopted technology. Would you like to give us some glimpse about the initiative that we have taken as part of SDFC to reach us to this level?
Sure.
Not only from the insurance perspective, but the overall wherever your app and systems are there.
So, so we started our cloud journey with AWS about 6-7 years back. We were in fact one of the first large enterprise account in India for AWS.
Correct.
Today, with time, we have adopted multi-cloud architecture. We have all the major cloud providers. Multiple advantages. Yes, there are some disadvantages as well. We are today in the midst of, if you read, it's pretty much a public information. It's there in our annual report, etc. We, except for our core system, we are practically changing all our tech on a like a large scale program basis. The whole idea is historically, not historically, but systems that were designed 10 years back. We did a lift and shift to cloud. It worked. The downtime decreased and so on. But we realized those were not cloud native applications, which means beyond a particular level, they were not fully scalable. When I want to scale it fully and I want changes at a speed that is what market expects. In my older technology, new product comes, product teams make it, I take 1 month, 1.5 months in the technology to enable the product. That's not acceptable in the marketplace anymore. The day product team is ready to launch a product, IT has to be ready as well. Right? Now, so lot of these things required a fundamental change in how we operated in the technology space. And to enable all of that, we are not only doing a base microservices architecture, but we have broken the bigger problem into distinct layers where we are saying while data is and core system is at the center, we have a virtual office kind of a framework where whether it is a customer, whether it is our sales staff, whether it is our service staff, whether it is our partners, partner could be a large bank, it could be an independent agent, all of them will interact with us through the virtual office framework.
Oh, great.
We are looking at single app for agents, single app for the customer always was there, but for any of those kind of things, you just go to one place, look at what you want, you get it right there. So that is the kind of thought process with which we are doing the current transformation within HDFC Life.
So quite insightful. I mean, just wanted to understand like this big this big complex systems of technology that is coming in, where you might be not touching upon the core services, but all the surrounding services, be it like AI, MarTech, data analytics, and everything, that you would be leveraging cloud over there. And also you mentioned about some sort of a resiliency at the app layer, where you have mentioned about you do the detection of networking layer or the networking conditions on the app itself. Similar to this is like any other thing that you are planning, or you are also going to plan for your own data centers, or move from cloud to I mean your own on-premise based solutions as well, or you want to stick to cloud only?
So, interesting question. While most of our systems are on cloud, they will continue to be on cloud for a simple reason. One, it provides scalability, etc. But bigger part is lot of new other software systems now are available only on cloud. So that reduces my options, first of all.
Okay.
But for certain places, for example, we now have couple of servers for our GenAI. These are NVIDIA machines. And lot of those now we do on-prem for specific purposes. So many of these things, as long as you know that you exactly know the need, some of that on-prem option is still a viable option. But you have to be very clear what you are expecting from those systems.
Correct.
And whether scaling further, can you do a nice hybrid technology? So again, same example, GenAI, while a lot of our services are working on the on-prem machines, but many of the customer-facing applications, we have put it on cloud because it can auto-scale up and down appropriately. Many of the other ones, it's on-prem. Many of the development machines and compute is on-prem. So that's how we are trying to manage.
Okay, I think yeah, that's a pretty insightful discussion. One quick questions. I think Ashis Rout, Mr. SVP, he's SVP for Tech and Distill in HDFC Bank. So I think, I mean, moving, I mean, just extending to the question which I just checked with Pala. Given this all the technology landscape and the technology innovation that we are doing, definitely it is helping us out. But it is coming with its own set of challenges which are related to the compliance, securities, fraud threat modeling. So, I mean, how are we handling that? What is our thought around that?
Yeah, compliance for us, it's not the primary thing. Rather, we feel that security is the primary thing. Whatever product we do, whatever aspect technology we adopt, we ensure that security is built into that. That is paramount for us. Because we believe in a particular thing, like we don't say we are a bank, rather we say we are a technology company having banking license.
Oh, nice. Nicely quoted. Yeah.
Do everything in banking now. Banking is nothing, only savings, currents and
Kasa.
loan, kasha, not this. Everything, selling a insurance
Correct.
to our depository, this one, our security arm, be it AMC, investing somewhere, private equity, anything, any sort of, I mean, where finance is touched is done by the bank.
Correct.
And we understand that the money that we handle is customers. And customer is delighted, the trust is built only when he trusts us and we give him a better experience. Take a small example of we have a product called 10-second loan. What is the experience a customer gets?
Okay.
In the night, suppose somebody is standing in the hospital and desires it's for some operation or something, he needs some fund.
Correct.
He did not go to the bank because bank will open in next day morning. So he clicks his net banking, his eligibility is fixed there. He finds out, he clicks few button and his account is credited. That's the way 10-second loan works.
Oh.
And he trusts. It is transparent, it is quick, it is compliant with the regulator. You ask for anything, everything is mapped. And it gives customer delight also.
Oh, nice. Understood. So, I think we are moving towards the end of the session, but I think just one point I want to discuss with all of you is like, I mean, how do we see the BFSI industry in the next 5 years with the advances that we are seeing in terms of technology? I mean, that we just now discussed in terms of a digital first, I mean, the principle that we are following. So, I mean, it's open to everyone.
So I think from a digital first to AI first is what it is going to go towards, where we are going to more focus on getting the right data. There will be more investment in the MarTech platforms, like you rightly mentioned here. And the hyper-personalization will be the key word. Of course, with all of this comes the AI governance also, because whatever AI does, it should be explainable. It should be free of biases. And it should not hallucinate. So this is where I think our trends would be from a BFSI perspective, would be like in next 3 to 5 years.
Fair. How about you, Siddhartha?
So, considering this digitalization and technology, the biggest threat is security. I think security is one of the most important thing. I think the banking sector will definitely, evolve, like using AI techniques and everything, doing risk assessment, and doing like RBI is doing the mule account finding and everything they have put up. So these things they have to be focused on, because when you talk about digital, then you are open to the risk associated with that. So that is what customer is always the focus. What he said, but I think you have to strengthen your security very well.
So the new set of technologies coming, we should have a governance associated.
You have to. There is no other option.
Yeah. Okay. So
So 2-3 points. I think first is on the AI side, which is definitely adding the layer on top of the core technology. AI is enabling a lot of things, but as we go forward, AI has to become more observable AI. It has to become more transparent in a sense of responsible AI. For example, for loan credibility, eligibility, I should not use gender as a variable. I am who I am, and being a particular gender should not change my loan eligibility.
Sure.
Now, those kind of things are example where you say you are using the right kind of AI, no matter what data says. So that's one part of it, where many of the governance we are probably just have DPDP coming through our way. I think only matter of time where you will have AI coming our way as well.
nicely quoted.
So that's one, and I think as he said, security both from the core system perspective, data security, the need of
App security, network security,
encryptions, masking. A lot of these things are mandated in DPDP, but even otherwise, just for the survival of the business, you don't want your business to be held at ransom, for example. So security at multiple levels become important.
Correct.
That's my summary.
Yeah, thanks. So Ashis, the final remarks.
See, AI, it's not that, it's new for us. We have been doing AI models long back, starting from, we have got a concept of digital factory. So all our products, new innovations are tested and prepared and UAT done before making it live at the digital factory. That is one. And where I work in security and technology department, we have taken up now AI for security and security for AI. Just think of it.
Yeah.
AI for security and
security for AI.
So whatever we adopt the AI, whether it is access management, whether it is next gen SIM, everything we want to build the AI and take the help of Gen AI to secure our complete infrastructure, which is huge. Plus the regulator also appreciates that the way we have covered the our security, it is just fabulous.
Thank you. Thanks for the concluding remarks. So I think, let me just summarize the guidance that we got from our esteemed speakers out here. Is like, BFSI has to be digital first, and it is there. And moving forward, also in the 5-year roadmap that we have discussed, it's not like something that we have to be worried about it. It's the things that are coming in, be it like compliance, be it like AI, be it like anything that comes into the picture. It's going to stay here. It is going to evolve. With that, just that we should have a great governance around it, and they should be complementing each other. And we all, as rightly mentioned by Bala, is like, we should not think ourselves as a BFSI and tech different, but we should start adopting tech, and we should be the tech first, and then with our the BFSI domain mindsets, right? So with that, thanks to all our esteemed speakers. Yeah.
Thank you.